It is 6:30. I'd like to call the meeting in Morrison City Council to order. Our clerk is absent today, so City Administrator Melton will be fulfilling that role. Would you call the roll, please?
Bruckner. Here. Cruz. Here. Mahaffey.
Here.
Schlegel.
Here.
Travelt.
Here.
Tickler.
Here.
West.
Here.
Zadaville.
Here.
Have the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I don't believe anyone has signed up for public comment. We were expecting downtown fiber service presentation, but they're not here, so we'll look for them in our next meeting. City reports. Chief, do you have a report?
The Morrison Police Department participated in the recent, they had one juvenile that passed away a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Horrible crash. We participate in traffic direction, assisting manager constantly. And looks like I will be able to fill in the empty vacant spots that we had for at least 6 months now for the police department. Officer Corey Black from the company was from Savannah. So if everything works out, I will be able to get started the very last week of the month.
Okay. No other officers present. Next on the agenda would be the consent agenda. You have minutes, bills payable, a couple commissions, planning and zoning, historic, clarification on the residency requirements of cemetery trustees, and the schedule for public hearing on the annexation of the land, and that hearing would be the 29th. Does anybody wish to remove any item from the consent agenda? If not, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? Is there any discussion or questions? I will speak to the residence requirements of the cemetery board. They are not required to live in city limits. City attorney confirmed that. Some of our other commissions do, so when we make those nominations, I will be certain to inform you as the nomination is made. Any further questions or discussions on the consent agenda? It does have money, so we need a roll call vote. Clerk?
Bruckner,
Yes.
Cruz,
Yes.
Mahaffey,
Yes.
Schlegel,
Yes.
Terrell. Yes. Tickler,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Seidemann. Motion carries.
Okay, for consideration and possible action, the budget plan, we would ask for your approval to post it for public with the eye to adopting it at our next meeting on the 29th. There is a slight change, but what I would ask for first is someone to move that to be approved and a second, and then the city administrator can discuss the minor change. Is there a motion?
Second.
All right, it's on the floor. City Administrator Melton, you have distributed a one-page summary of the very small change, and I see it's in the library line.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's two-sided, what I handed out to you. It's just a small minor, minor change. This fund, the Odell Public Library Fund, is simply a pass-through fund and should always zero out at the end of each fiscal year. During the fiscal year, it may occasionally show a negative balance because we do payroll, we then invoice the library, they then reimburse us from the library board fund. So it's just a process, but for the budget purposes, the initial one that I had a negative fund balance at the bottom because of the way my spreadsheet was set up, and so I updated the numbers just a little bit, fine-tuned them for FY25 because there is no fund balance there, and corrected that. I just did not want a budget to be approved with a negative fund balance because there is none in this fund. So if that makes sense to you, I will, no need to make a motion to change this in the draft. I will just make it as part of the final product that you approve, or at least I hope you approve at the next council meeting.
What is the, on the expenses side on this half of the sheet?
Yes,
The PPRT distribution?
that's the personal property replacement tax. So we collect personal property replacement tax, and 19.38% of that goes directly to the library.
Okay.
And so we show that as an expense out to the library,
Sure.
to their fund.
It just fluctuates hugely.
Yeah,
54,000 in FY 2023, and then 18,000. No big deal. It's just kind of interesting how much it is.
yeah, and I think because there was one year there that the state doubled up on it because of some formula that they had, and so we're paying for it now, so to speak.
Yeah, that's an allocation, sort of at the whim of the state, based on what I read.
Pretty much.
They decide what to give us.
Okay.
Most allocations are at the whim of the state.
Yeah.
So, thank you. All right, any further questions or discussions?
I'll make one more comment if I could, please.
Please.
Just to remind you, so the public hearing at the next meeting will have two purposes. It'll be for the budget and for the annexation. So,
That's the annexation of the Tractor Supply.
yes, Tractor Supply subdivision, yes.
Has a name, yes. Any further questions or discussions? Not, we would have a roll call vote, please.
Bruckner?
Yes.
Cruz?
Yes.
Mahaffey?
Yes.
Schlegel?
Yes.
Terrell? Yes. Tickler?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Seidemann?
Yes.
Motion carries.
The next item is an introduction of a Class H liquor license aimed at a banquet hall. We have discussed this in the past, and it has been exposed to you. I think the wording here, the one point is how many people, and this one suggests it's got to be a place that holds at least 75 people. And timing, Saturday, no later than 11 PM, nor before noon on Sunday. Those were the questions that we had in a prior exposition of this. For further discussion, I would ask someone to move this.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any questions or any further discussion?
Can there be more than one of these?
Yes. All this does is define a type of liquor license. It doesn't make one.
Got 2 empty buildings in town, we could literally have.
Just one more mechanism the city's offering for people to start businesses.
The 75 people, it says, to host more than 75?
You have to have the ability to carry more than 75 people. This prevents somebody from calling their basement a banquet center. If
Okay.
your basement can only hold 10 people.
Right. I'm just thinking of some of the buildings downtown, could they hold 75?
Well, for this type of class.
Correct. Yes.
That's right. And again, remember, this is for a banquet center. Their main source of revenue cannot be alcohol. They have to make more money renting banquets and banquet supplies and selling food.
Hopefully people use it, spirit is intended.
Yeah, that, of course.
That will be up to us to make sure.
I mean, but yeah, we're still gonna approve these as they come.
Right. It does not, it makes a type. It does not make a license.
Right.
Somebody's gonna have to apply and we're gonna have to say, we're gonna grant a Class H to Fred
Right.
when Fred applies. Any further discussion? This does not involve money. We can do a voice vote. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, proposed fiscal year-end transfers. This, at April 30th, we would move money from fund to fund. What I'd like is a motion to approve, and then the city administrator can describe the proposed actions.
Second.
It's on the floor for discussion. I'll ask the city administrator to tee it up.
We are fortunate enough to have unreserved fund balance, specifically in the general fund balance and in the 2016 government obligation bond fund. That is above and beyond what our fund balance policies are or will be with the new budget that you will consider and hopefully approve at the next meeting. And with that, I have proposed, according to our budget plan, these fund transfers. The first 2 fund transfers are just a little housekeeping, so to speak, if you will, trying to close those 2 funds out because we have a general Public Works Capital Fund now instead of just vehicle and equipment funds. So those just basically transfer the fund balance of those 2 funds. You'll see the amounts there, $17 and then $11.05 for the other. And then the GEO bond fund. This is unreserved fund above and beyond what we keep in there from year to year to make sure we are fluid there for that bond obligation. And then the remaining in total 300,000 is, as it states, just setting aside some funding for police department capital, public works capital, building capital, and then of course road projects. Pretty straightforward, I think, I hope.
I'm just concerned about, please correct me if I'm wrong, but somewhere in my memory bank, I believe when I first started on the council, there were some questions about that we could not just close out funds. Just to close them out. So I would really appreciate more information on that because it really sticks in my memory that we can't just close funds.
Maybe a poor choice of words on my point. Just zero out those funds. They can't, you're right, they cannot be closed for at least 7 years. And they will stay on the books for at least that long. But with a zero balances we don't have to contend with. You can have all the funds you want. It doesn't matter how much money you have in them. And yes, those will not go away. We will just not use them.
Any further questions or discussion? This does involve money, so we need a roll call vote.
Bruckner.
Yes.
Cruz.
Yes.
Mahaffey.
Yes.
Schlegel.
Yes.
Terrell.
Yes.
Tickler.
Yes.
West.
Yes.
Sidema.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. On the move, equipment update. So it's either.
So
We
I'll
never
just,
talked
I
about
can,
this.
what's?
Yep. This is for discussion only, yeah?
Sure. Was Shar?
She just wanted to watch, yeah.
Because she signed in for public comment.
She signed up for-
Do you wish to speak to On the Move? You're not obligated, but yeah.
Just to key this up, On the Move has made a request, or a couple of requests. I'll let Charlotte get into it. And it's regarding a couple pieces of equipment for various parks. So I've been in contact with Carla Byrne. I didn't know who was coming exactly, but I was at one of the most recent meetings when we discussed at least the one piece of equipment. So
So what we're. Would you mind standing behind the police?
Yeah, is the mic on?
can you push down or hold it? down?
Push and hold, power mute, yeah, and then the green light comes on. There you go.
So what we're proposing is to purchase a kangaroo pillow jumper. It's a piece of equipment that is not seen in many parks in the area, but we think it's a good fit for one of our parks, whether it be out at the sports complex or at one of your other parks that you would like to have it put at. It probably, well, Trevenburn has talked with the gal who we've been working with. And I don't know, did you get specs on any of this in your packets? So I don't know if you have any questions about this. There are a few things that we would need from the city. One would be, we'll need electricity there. So the question would be, how do we get it hooked up, pays for that? We'll need a backhoe on the day of, and a driver for the backhoe on the day that we have it installed, and we're having it professionally installed. So I think that's, a lot safer way to go. And so I guess just to decide if you've had any questions or where this equipment would go. We did have a grant, partial grant for this, so we would like to get this going and get it, soon. If not, there's a possibility we could get something else. But if you have any questions on it, I think Trevor probably can.
Charlotte or Trevor, do you have a park in mind, or is it just, you're totally flexible on that, or was there a vision from the group that?
Well, it seems like most, which grant in particular, you guys first, get something from you guys too, but we're thinking more so at the sports complex maybe. I think one vision that we had was kind of by the Lions pavilion
Yeah.
there, in that area there. Yeah,
It's a pretty flat area.
Is there electrical at that pavilion already?
Ooh, I don't
Is that the
remember.
one that sits
no
right
electricity at the pavilion.
by the,
It's right by the bank,
right by the bank?
the first thing you see, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I know there is, if there isn't in that pavilion, there's electricity that goes to, that feeds the scoreboard on the end, on the back end of, field 2. So it would probably be a boring, a short, easy boring to get, power over there. Because, yeah, power will need it as a blower, because it's just a big air, it's kind of cool. Used to go to a campground and my kids absolutely loved it. And you don't see them around here. So, yeah, we would just, it would be on a timer when it was inflated, when it wasn't, so to speak, and, there's some nice options with it. And fairly, I don't want to say maintenance free, fairly low maintenance. I think that the ongoing maintenance will be making sure that we keep significant sand around the bottom of it. Because it's kind of in an open space with just sand around the bottom of it for the kids when they roll off of it or whatever. That's pretty much, as you see, and I brought up the website on the TV, you can kind of see it's a pretty big colorful pillow, and it's just bordered by, I want to say 5-6 feet of sand. Pretty soft stuff. And it's,
Durable material, because that was my only concern with complex, just kids running over the cleats or something.
She said it's very durable. She barely ever has to do repairs, but there are ways that they can repair. So it's not like you have to replace the whole thing. There's some material that they would bring us and they could be able to patch it. And so,
Yeah, to keep on the spot for a sign. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a stop yet, because you could, you know,
So
kids
this-
on baseball.
This
Running over.
was a weed from the highway, right?
Yeah,
but she made it sound like it was durable enough to handle that. Obviously, you don't want that on there, but she made it sound like it was pretty durable that wouldn't probably be too much of an issue, but obviously you still don't want.
And then you cover it. Does that pillow come off or?
And like, I can call her right now, if she said she's on standby, I don't know all the questions, but,
what was your question, Matt?
Like if you, what do you
Winter.
do in the winter? Like
You
cover
deflate it and leave it. It's for the weather. It's a thick 25 something, I don't know what the measurement is, PVC liner. Kind of like a really thick pool liner. And you just deflate it. They have covers, I think mesh covers, but that just creates mildew and moisture. They just said, just deflate it and leave it sit.
So just persevere and post off in spring.
So you're buying the.
Yes,
cover?
the only cost, is the setting of the backhoe, running the electricity, and we just, we're not sure that the city would take that expense or if that was an expense.
Yeah.
And we don't know what that would cost.
so absent the electricity question, the only cost to the city is to have a person there with a backhoe when the third party comes to install it.
Which we
And
had.
all of that material, yeah, we have a backhoe, we have labor, everything else comes with the thing, right? And so then the question is electricity right now, in my mind.
Sounds like a great deal for the city, hugely appreciated. I think that we should spend the money on the electrical and thank you for raising the money.
Yeah, it's kind of a rare.
I think, there is no equipment for the children, I think, at the
I don't know.
sports complex, so that would kind of be a nice place to start. But,
that was our vision as a group.
And we're still pursuing a significant grant for a playground out there, which we hope, and we have to confirm, but we believe that area will fit both. It'll be a nice little
Yeah.
area for both.
So I'm so sorry, I hate to sound so obtuse here, but it's not where that playground equipment used to be. right?
No,
Because that was so dangerously placed, in my opinion,
Yeah.
previously.
It
So
was too
this is
close
gonna
to
be
the
more the interior,
Yeah.
so kids can play, well, big brothers play. the big
there's gonna
stuff.
be a hill and a house and a bank between the kids and the highway.
Perfect.
Wonder how far back, like the outbound field of that field. It would be, I'm
Softball,
thinking home runs. of going
you're
over
at a sports
the-
complex, Matt. That's your risk,
Yeah,
you know?
but that's, I mean, it's going places.
That would have to be a boomer to,
This is a conversation for another time, but I think there's no shade in that area. Is that correct? At some point, I would go up to the city, and I know that the garden club has offered to purchase trees repeatedly. Maybe part of this too could be planting some trees to try and generate some, if we are gonna maybe do a park, we're doing this, maybe we could, in the long run, get a little bit of shade in that area too.
If we do have funds set aside for doing something like that, though, isn't there a way to donate money to the city for something like
Yes,
that?
right.
That could be part of it.
Yeah.
Question really quick, Charlotte. So, is the On the Move, like, ready to hit the ground running with this, or how
Yes.
long of a timeline are we looking at before we could look at delivery of this item?
You gotta use money back by May 10th,
Yeah.
something like that, so.
So we should, like, we should get estimates on the electric and stuff, right? Get that one.
That's
Is that your
the
understanding, Trevor, that they-
We're ready.
What's,
We want to.
what's this
Okay.
cost?
From 8,000,
Well,
Just to show the investment.
Oh,
in it.
Yeah, I mean, they.
Wow.
So the
took us
estimate
to raise money for it.
estimate that we have is 12,200.
Oh, that's good, that
Install.
install.
So you have the third-party installer, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
And that includes
Raising all
the
that money.
the gravel and the initial sand, and then we're on the split for
I think it'll look nice, you know, make sure
Can
it's
we vote
voted
on it now?
nicely. What's that?
Can we vote on it
I
now?
don't think it's
Yeah.
up for-
No,
We can't, right?
So how does this work? If we have to wait 2 more weeks or? Can we waive the second reading? or-
We
Yeah, I think we're all
tentatively
I-
vote, and then 2 weeks later, if it's.
Right, instead of. putting them
Well,
on-
vote.
well, we can do the whole consensus. If there's a consensus, we can,
Done that
they can move forward.
Yeah.
Because the way it's on the agenda, we cannot act.
There's a
officially
little
act
bit-
on it.
Okay, we'll action.
My mind's not gonna change in 2 weeks.
Okay,
Yeah. mine either.
so with consensus, we would encourage you to order. And in 2 weeks, we'll approve the cost of electric and the cost of labor and the making the equipment available.
Yeah.
Well, I can be convinced.
Ground for that thing first.
I think that is pretty level right there. isn't it?
We're
That
just
area.
gonna lay it out
Yeah.
on the ground without the.
They have sand there.
Yeah, they dig it
Use-
out.
Yeah,
Here. you saw it.
Too many
Little
numerous
sand
times.
piece.
I can get like.
I already took it
oh,
down.
sorry, he took it down.
Sorry.
Oh, I- you said-
All right. So watch this space, there'll be an action item, but with consensus, go ahead. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well, you know, McDonald's they have people bouncing around in there. Sometimes they get hurt a little bit.
All right.
I was occasioned to be out the sports complex a week ago, which 5 dogs were present. 2 got into a fight. A lady who knew me says, because her child was near the fence where the dogs were, and they're arguing over a play toy. She says, "You're a councilman, why don't you do something about this?" One of the participants with the dog was the superintendent of schools. Those 4 other dogs up into the complex.
I'm thinking dogs are allowed.
There's
during
signs,
events.
but again, literacy is key.
Anytime you go, not only the high school, both high school teams were playing plus teams were practicing, so there was a lot of people.
Yeah, you're supposed to try to get.
Okay,
I
noted.
said something to the gentleman, he says, well, nobody reads them signs anyway. That's the response.
They read them, they just ignore them.
We'll pass that along.
Get your ticket book.
Can we add cars to?
Yeah,
that
you know
list?
that
No
You're only
driving
halfway through the
under
month, you need a quota to make, right? Okay, any further questions on this item? If not, just a brief update on the strategic plan from the city administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Update on that is, I believe the mayor and I have worked hard at a reasonable amount and sufficient questions for the survey. A lot of them are basic community community and government service type questions. That should be finalized. We hope that will go out but by the end, I'd like to say by the end of the month, but early May, because we are on schedule with, bless you, with the focus group sessions mid-May. And I'm waiting to confirm those later this week, I hope, the date for the session. So this council will have its end workshop that we discussed about the hours and doing it all in one evening. That will come later in the summer, but as much of you that will be able to attend one of the focus group sessions, it'll be at about an hour, hour and a half, unfortunately during the day in mid-May for that initial discussion. So when I have those dates confirmed, as soon as I do, I will let you know for your own planning. And again, that is just if you're available. It'll be the workshop at the end, which we really would like everybody to be here for. So just kind of give you a heads up on that. We started out with 70 some questions in the survey, and hopefully we're down, I think right around maybe 60-ish. But there are a lot of quick questions and rating, and it really shouldn't take you that long. Shouldn't take the community that long. So more on that as we really get close to things starting to happen. So that's all I have.
Okay. Any questions? If not, I would entertain a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Thank you.
We got 2 seconds, so.
Give
Still
Vernon
more
a
on
second.
Did they vote on it?
They do.
Not yet.
Executive session at 7:15 PM, and we are back in public session.
But I don't think there's anybody.
I don't know, the chief's car is
No, he
gone.
left.
He would be the only one coming back. Okay, action following executive session. Is there a motion to approve Alderman Bruckner, City Administrator Melton, and myself to negotiate an employment agreement with Kevin Simpson for the position of Chief of Police?
So.
Second.
Okay, so Cruz and Zaida. Is there any further discussion on that in public session? Not. We better have a roll call just to cover all the bases.
Bruckner,
Yes.
Cruz,
Yes.
Mahaffey,
Yes.
Schlegel,
Yes.
Travella,
Yes.
Tickler,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Sideman.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you all very much. Anything else for the good of the body? If not, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. Any opposed? Hearing no opposition, I
You gotta
declare
give me
we are
examples.
adjourned at
Just
7:16
because you
PM.
persuaded me once, doesn't mean I changed my mind on it.
Excellent.
Oh, you mean leaving the council? Oh, man, that one's one.